Hi everyone. Video 2 from Patrick Mouthpieces. Today we're going to ask and cover what to look for in a mouthpiece and why would you use a different mouthpiece. So number one, the question is, what mouthpiece do you currently play? These are the questions to ask yourself when you're thinking about getting a new mouthpiece. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? What do you hope to accomplish by switching mouthpieces? Usually, trumpet players cover a wider swath of material physically than other instrumentalists, and more is laid upon us in regards to genres that we need or have to cover. So, to that end, I personally recommend switching mouthpieces for different work. Not as a crutch, but much like a worker in the garage working on a car or working on a house project. Much of the time, we get our tools out to do a project only to find ourselves in the middle of the project and need a hammer, but we only have a screwdriver. So what do? We turn the screwdriver around and use it like a hammer. Um, Same thing if we're working on the house or we're working on our car. If we don't have the right screwdriver, we'll just kind of try to make that one work and turn it sideways, and we can get through the job, but we don't really get through it in the right way or the best way or the way that tool is intended. Um, and we nobody that would work on a car or do a job in the house would use a tool in that way. So why do we as musicians, professional or aspiring professionals, or just something that we love as a hobby, why would we do the same? Why would we do that? So we pick up a flugelhorn to play dark or play warm. We pick up a piccolo trumpet to play literature that we would play for a wedding ceremony or trumpet shell sound. Trumpet shell sound is not extremely high, so why would we play piccolo trumpet? It's because we're using the right tool for the right job. And so for decades, people have thought of using a different mouthpiece or switching mouthpieces as a crutch, and I would completely disagree with that. I would more say that you should be able to play, your work on a wide variety of equipment, but if you pick the right equipment, you're going to sound better and you're not going to be working against your equipment. So these are the reasons that we would switch mouthpieces, not so much because we can't play a high note on a big mouthpiece or because we can't play a low note on a small mouthpiece, but because we want to pick the job that allows us to be the most relaxed when we play. We want to be relaxed when we play so that we don't run out of chops. I've seen personally, I've run out of chops when I've played on a mouthpiece that's too small for the job because I start getting unwanted tension into my playing, and uh, my chops or my muscles get tired from trying to play in such a way that I can play low or relax with a bigger sound with a small mouthpiece. So usually people think of, well, you get tired on a big mouthpiece when you're trying to play long passages or stay in the higher register, which can be true, but the same on the other side can be true as well. So I tried to approach playing trumpet as relaxed as I can and picking up the right equipment for the right job, whether that's a different horn or most of the time for me, it's a different mouthpiece. Um, let's see. You can have much more endurance, not develop any bad habits or that inhibit your range, flexibility, or endurance as much. Um, I like having a couple of classical mouthpieces and a couple of more commercial setups. Um, I've found that for most applications, unless you're speaking about piccolo trumpet or cornet or things like that, that a classical mouthpiece is best in a one piece because of the way the backbore and the throat section work with the cup. These are not hard, fast rules. Obviously, there's many ways to balance out a mouthpiece. For Patrick mouthpieces, I always recommend a one piece mouthpiece, which is actually a little bit cheaper for the classical setup, unless you're playing piccolo or cornet. Um, For commercial mouthpieces, I recommend a two-piece when you go to a V-shaped cup. That's the way they were designed. They were designed that way just because of trial and error on my own walk in my own life trying to play trumpet for a living, trying to figure out how to make it through gigs, trying to find out how to make it through a week or 2 weeks of hard playing and diverse playing. So again, I'll hold up a two-piece mouthpiece. Um, Here's your back bore, and here's your top. Your top is your rim and your cup. And this particular one is going to be super hard to see it on here. I'll try. That's a V-shaped cup. So it has the rim and it kind of goes straight down after that and then into a V shape after that. This particular one is a 78S. So that's my shallow cup on my 78 model, which is the inner diameter is kind of equivalent to a 3C, but it's nothing like a 3C. You can see on this one that the rim is really flat and fat as well, which is different than my comfort rim, my CR rim, which is more rounded. We'll get into specific mouthpieces later, but I just wanted to explain because of the way this works. I usually recommend having a 28 hole in the top, in the top drill, and a 27 drill in the back bore, kind of creating a step bore kind of thing that many trumpets are popular for, but you can even start realizing that even as close up as your mouthpiece. I think that's it for today. Look for more of these videos. Thanks.